welcome to my YouTube channel. I never thought I was going to be doing this, but I love the YouTube space right now, and I feel like a lot of people can grow. So kind of had like a school project at first, which was for I was in the Begins program, International Studies at Carleton, but I ended up switching to Bachelor of Arts. That's what I graduated with last month. So the school project really was for Begins, and they were trying to make us, or people that wanted to be engaged in the movie or the project, or the competition, I guess to later become, is just like you would create maybe vlogs or different, or even like writes up or photography, like recording like your experience in traveling or moving around. And I was like, okay, like since I knew I had a trip coming up in the summer, which was me going back to Nigeria, and I'd not been in for like maybe 9 to 10 years, I was like, okay, maybe I should probably like basically record some of the experience and like document it and use it for this school project. Ended up switching my program, so I'm like, okay, I could just use it more for like a creative idea. And yeah, low-key it came out okay, because I was like, it just made me more aware during my trip, and to just like, okay, oh, this is a cool idea, I should probably add to my project. So yeah, so my first trip, obviously it was a bit difficult. I feel when you're traveling from Canada to Nigeria, it's like a whole trip in a way, because it's gonna take you at least basically the whole day, and there's no direct flights now, so that kind of makes the whole thing a bit more difficult, because I used what's the airline called now, kind of in my memory, I had to go through Frankfurt, so Lufthansa, so I had to use Lufthansa, and then so you have to go through Frankfurt. I was going with my mom, so I had to go through the US first before finally going through Frankfurt and then Abuja. So I feel like that kind of makes traveling a bit difficult for a lot of, like, I guess Nigerians in general, in that we don't have direct flights here. So that would avoid that whole hustle of having to, if you're using Air Egypt, you have to go to Cairo, and if you're using like Emirates, you have to go to the Middle East, all that stuff. So I think there are more like direct flights coming from the US now, but like there's more of that needed to just make the whole thing smooth. Regardless, though, I felt like my experience though in like the Frankfurt airport was like a bit, chill, seamless. Like it was not too stressful. If I want to give them credit, in like the airport in a way had like good directions, and you could easily like navigate the airport. Or I felt like there were a lot of stairs, so like just in case if you're disabled, you might not be like, you might have to, I guess, figure out a way to use an elevator. But like there were a lot of stairs, and that was my like maybe second time in like the Frankfurt airport, because I did like a trip back in high school like to Germany, but at the same time I guess I was younger, I didn't remember, I don't even know if it was the same airport really. But as I said, like if you're someone that really pays attention, you can easily move around in the airport and like find like your next gates, and which can be difficult sometimes. I feel in airports, like I get a lot of people, but I get missing, and I reach out to someone and I'm like, where is this gate? Or people reaching out to me. So you have to like, for an airport to be really good, they have to have good directions. So speaking of airports though, my first impressions landing in the Nigerian airport was it low-key improved. Like from my experience, like leaving at first, like it was a lot of things that changed a little bit. I feel like at least for the international airport, obviously some things still remain the same. I still had like maybe a baggage might get missing, but that's something that though happens even in international airports. Like anywhere I've gotten my bag missing, like in the US airports. That's to say, like I feel like it had improved a little bit. They still had a lot of like ways that they could still improve the infrastructure. I think it was still like in the progress of building, but getting there I was happy. I was like, it was nice. And just to wrap up more the video, and that's a lot of the clips you'll see is me, for instance, going to hotels or trying to go to a restaurant, just trying to have a good time. In Nigeria, I actually went for a wedding, and it was a pretty chill like experience, but I felt like one of the industries, like entertainment is big now. We received all the artists in different genres, gospel, Afrobeat, whatever, like having a very global moment. But I feel like hospitality is also like a pretty like niche market that Nigeria could go into, because in a way, obviously this infrastructure could always get better, but things are cheap. Like I had to stay in an Airbnb because like my house was not, we didn't have a house to stay at the moment, and obviously it's a bit expensive, but when you do the conversion rate, it's like, okay, this is not too bad for what you're getting. So I feel like that's and what the services you're getting, you might get to pull different things, like access to things that for the same price you might not get at, like even in the Western world. So, and then the cuisine, I feel like you have a taste of different things. This is not more selling Nigeria in a way, even though someone might feel like it is. There's still a lot of insecurity or safeties in some ways, but I felt like there was that, and I had that mind coming in that it's, you know, and I can't lie, there sometimes I felt unsafe, but at the same time it was not up to the magnitude that people were pushing it to be, or what it seems like sometimes on in the media. So it was a good time. Like, I went to this Chinese restaurant, which was kind of like my conclusion of like the whole video, and also like the projects and recording, like my experience coming from Canada to Nigeria after a couple years. And I went with like a creative too in Nigeria, which is kind of aligns to what's like the booming just tech industry in Nigeria too. That a lot of people are like, you see a lot of YouTubers on YouTube like doing different things, and they're Nigerian. When you think about the country, oh, like it doesn't have proper electricity, different things, you think that would like slow down a lot of people from being as creative, but people are doing a lot of crazy stuff regardless. So went to this restaurant, she was like getting a lot of like the good shots. When you look at like just me going in like the slow motion going into like the restaurant, and like pictures of like the menu and, you know, even the food itself. I believe that was like, we got like a black pepper like steak beef or something, and, you know, some rice and whatever. So it was like, it was pretty chill. I feel like for, you know, travel experiences, since it's more like a travel vlog kind of thing, you know, like I feel like even if you don't have to go to Nigeria, people should put more like African destinations on their, you know, on their bucket list, I guess, like, because there are a lot of like nice places. Like if you do your research properly, prepare before going, just like you would do with any country, like you would have a good time. So as I said before, please like, subscribe, and thank you for watching the video.